Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 3, text number 26. Pahi mam paramam ste preshani nasarjam prajaha saimaya bhutum papa upakramanti mam prabho. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Brahma, approaching the Lord, addressed him thus: My Lord, please protect me from these sinful demons who are created by me under your order. They are infuriated by an appetite for sex and have come to attack me. Purport. It appears here that the homosexual appetite for males for each other is created in this episode of the creation of the demons by Brahma. In other words, the homosexual appetite for a man for another man is demoniac and is not for any sane male in the ordinary course of life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Text 27. Tvamekah kila lokanam klishtanam kleshanashanaha Tvamekah kleshadastaisham anasanna padam tava. My Lord, you are the only one capable of ending the affliction of the distressed and inflicting agony on those who never resort to your feet. Purport. The word kleshadastesham anasanna padam tava indicate that the Lord has two concerns. The first is to give protection to the persons who take shelter of his lotus feet. And the second is to give trouble to those who are always demoniac and who are inimical towards the Lord. Maya's function is to give afflictions to the non-devotees. Here Brahma said, You are the protector of the surrendered souls. Therefore I surrender unto your lotus feet. Please give me protection from these demons. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So it's very interesting how Lord Brahma was getting attacked by the demons who were actually created under the order of the Lord. So Brahma did an action under the order of the Lord, and he is having an adverse effect from the material energy where the demons are attacking him. Normally we think that if somebody attacks or if there is some danger, the general tendency is to think that it could be due to my own papa karma, somebody is attacking. It could also be. This is an indication, this is a particular instance where where the verse itself says, Please protect me from the sinful demons who are created by me under your order. So, there are so many activities in preaching Krishna consciousness also, which we carry out on the order of Guru and Krishna. That does not necessarily mean that the demons don't have the freedom or the free will to attack, cause distress, put such followers of the Lord in danger. Just as in the example of the Pandavas, there are so many different kinds of harassments they had to go through, torture they had to go through. Even though they were on the side of the Lord, or the Lord was on their side, as was very clear, Lord Krishna was always on the side of the Pandavas, and still the attack continued. But the only difference is, finally, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, whichever side Krishna is there, Tatra Shri Vijayabhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha, that side will win. The Lord, and the next verse is what says, My Lord, you are the only one capable of ending the affliction of the distressed and inflicting agony on those who never resort to your feet. In other words, even though the Lord is equal to everyone, He is specially inclined to those who approach Him in a particular manner. The devotees are always in the mood of being protected by the Lord, seeking the protection of the Lord. Pahimam paramatmanasthe. Pahi means protect. Mam, me. Protect me. Paramatmana, the whole Supreme Lord. So the devotee does not think that he can handle all these demons, because these are all big forces. So it is a fact that the devotees, especially preachers, they are always seeking protection from the Lord. And we seek protection from the Lord in His particular form of Narasimhadeva, as we saw in the previous purport, how the devotees relate with the Lord in His different forms. In fact, the Lord takes so many different forms according to the way in which the devotees approach Him and give them the transcendental protection, show or express His love for His devotees by always protecting them and never letting them down. This is a fact. So even though so many difficulties may be there, these difficulties are not indication of anything less Krishna conscious. Difficulties could be due to one's own karma also, due to one's own sinful reaction also, but not necessarily always due to that. It is due to just like Prabhupada says in one place, in the purport I think, Maharaj Yudhishthira, all the sufferings he had, is it due to his past sinful activities, or is it due to the nature of the material world? So in that purport, Prabhupada explains that it is the nature of the material world. Yudhishthira was sinless, but in the nature of the material world that there will be attack. Because there are two kinds of living entities. The material world is created for the demonic and the asuric and the suric. The souls with divine qualities and souls with demoniac qualities. This constant, that is the nature of the material world. So when that is the nature of the material world, then it has to be expected that because it's one world, there's one society, so there will be interaction, and the demons will not spare the devotees. Because the demons are in another guna, and the devotees want to be in another guna. They are in another guna. They want to engage in devotion service, or they are law-abiding citizens. May not be pure devotees, but they are law-abiding citizens like the demigods. They know what is to be done, what is not to be done. Whereas the asuric living entities, they do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. This is a problem. They are whimsical in exercising their free will. They think they are all in all, they can do what they want. This is the influence of tamoguna and rajoguna on the soul. So, therefore, the demons who are always thinking, I can do what I want, why will they spare devotees? In fact, they become envious of the devotees. So, therefore, one should not be surprised, or one should not be dissuaded. As a preacher, one should not be dissuaded with so many difficulties that may come up in this material world, so many obstacles may come up in this material world. One should not read something into it and then stop preaching. One should continue his determination to preach Krishna. Just like Prabhupada stayed in India and he continued. It's not that, simply Krishna creates some miracles. Krishna watches. Krishna has given in this material world freedom for living entities. At that time, particular time, nobody was interested in accepting Prabhupada's message in this country. They were not interested. It is not due to Prabhupada's lack of purity or anything. He was lacking purity, and one day after several years then he attained the purity so he could preach. No, that is why Krishna took him to another place. Just see. India, nobody was accepting. And in the West, it was a time when actually they were very open-minded. All of them were, historically, it's a particular period of time, they were very, very open-minded, especially the youth. So, the Lord arranges like that. So, Prabhupada also went there at that time, was taken by the Lord at that time, and they listened to his preaching. They accepted Krishna consciousness. They embraced Krishna consciousness much more sincerely and seriously than any of the Indians, where Prabhupada tried so much. From leaders to everybody, he tried. So there are tough areas to preach, very difficult areas to preach. There are easier places to preach. Today the easiest place to preach in the world is India. Living entities are everywhere, preaching is required everywhere. Prabhupada went to America and showed preaching he could do there, and living entities accepted Krishna consciousness. There are so many countries on this earth where preaching is required. You may not be able to really achieve anything even after 5 years, 10 years in certain countries. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that, people may not be ready. People may not want. Environment may be such. Suddenly you see how in Russia, it was very tough. With great difficulty, Srila Prabhupada went there. And he only spoke to one person, Professor Kotowski. And then to few devotees. And he planted the seed there. And he came. But it took so much time. Devotees there had to undergo so much torture in the prison and all those things. So much torture they had to undergo. It is not due to their fault. Those souls get glorified for taking the torture on behalf of Krishna. Just like Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, such opportunities are rare for you to fight on behalf of me. Take it. So in the same way, in different countries, preaching is in different situations. Does not necessarily mean that it is only one's purity that is stopping it, of lack of purity. So there are two factors. One is one's own purity. Another is the free will of the people whom you are preaching to. the culture, the nature of the country, of the people, all this, it depends. So many things. So one has to realistically understand these things and then execute one's duty to preach Krishna consciousness on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So many souls are waiting, in one sense, in several places. We have to find out which are those places and go. As I said, suddenly as soon as the USSR collapsed, like a floodgate it opened. So many devotees in Russia. So many devotees in Russia. Just like in Prabhupada, the floodgate of so many devotees from America. Now so many devotees from Russia. Similarly, something may happen in China one day and there will be flooding the world with devotees. This Krishna consciousness is so wonderful that actually when it is presented, when Prabhupada's books are presented, you will see it get divided. Devotees and demons get divided. There are devotees everywhere. That's the whole point. There are devotees everywhere. There are simple souls everywhere. There are souls who want to surrender to the Lord. There are souls who want to practice bhakti. And there are souls who don't want that, who only want to enjoy. Demons means independent existence. Devotees means dependent existence. Demigods never think that they are independent. They think that Lord Vishnu is there, He is providing, and they are servants of Vishnu. They know they are part of the universal government under Brahma, and they have to, they get their dues. So they are law-abiding citizens. The demons are different. So here, Brahma created these demons under the order of the Lord. It's very interesting that for an action that he created under the order of the Lord, he was being attacked. And based on that, he ran to the Lord, seeking protection. Oh my Lord, pahimam paramatmanaste. Oh my Lord, you are the only one capable of ending the affliction of the distressed and inflicting agony on those who never resort to your feet. Now one thing we should always remember, whatever may be the freedom that Krishna gives to the demons, ultimately they cannot have a free run. He is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He watches them. And finally he comes down as to protect. Just like in the case of Prahlad Maharaj. So much torture, and he was tolerating and tolerating. Right? While he was being tolerated, while he was tolerating, one may wonder why Lord is not doing anything. This small boy is being harassed just because of talking about the Lord. He is being harassed and the Lord is not doing anything. Lord is not doing anything. This time they did this, they did never. Lord is not doing anything to protect. No, Lord was watching. Lord wanted to glorify His bhakti. Lord wanted to glorify His devotion. Otherwise we would not be reading the Prahlad story. Now we understand why the Lord did not apparently protect him, but He was always protecting. In each case He was protecting him. But He was not finishing on the demons. Before the attack came, He was not finishing them. That's the difference. He would allow them to attack and then He would protect. Then another attack, He will again allow them and again He will protect. But finally at one stage, He decided to kill the attacker, to finish him. And He did it. And this is the way the Lord works. One should have full faith in the protection of the Lord. One should understand that nobody, no demon can have a free run forever. He may have a free run for some time, but not forever. The Lord will clamp down. He is in control of everything. Not a blade of grass will move without His sanction. So even one is sinless, one will have to face so many difficulties. So many things. Of course, that it is the devotee's humility to think that any difficulty comes, it is due to my past sinful activities. Because the devotee really thinks, I cannot understand. How do I know my past? So many things I would have done. Maybe I should face all these things and cleanse myself of all the sinful reactions. Krishna is just giving me a sample of it. I will tolerate and I will move forward. This is a blessing. Everything the devotee takes it as a blessing. But the fact remains that this material world is padam padam yad vipadam natesham. It is always dangerous for the devotees. And the devotees get a special opportunity to taste the sweetness of Lord's protection in this material world. Just like Kunti Devi was tasted that protection. And when all the hurdles are over, all the Kauravas, they were all killed and everything is over, battle is over, Krishna is about to leave, she was feeling that now, how will I taste that protection of that Lord I enjoyed? In so many occasions, so kindly He came and protected us. I am going to miss that. So much so that she is saying, she already got used to it. Troubles will come, Krishna will protect. Troubles will come, Krishna will protect. So she is saying, she is praying, oh my Lord, give us more and more trouble. Let there be more and more troubles so that we can see you again and again and again. So that is the sweetness of the Lord's protection. It is there in this material world. Especially it is there for the devotees. They simply have to depend upon the Lord. Always seek protection while preaching Krishna consciousness. Not only preach, in this particular Kali Yuga, we have to pray to the Lord for protection. Not only for, in this Kali Yuga, there is no clear differentiation of demons and asuras and suras. You can say predominantly sura and predominantly asura. Every asura has got little sura in him. Every sura has asura in him. Just like our own minds. We are a combination of sura and asuras. Fact, it is a fact. We are a combination of sura and asuras. We have got sinful tendencies, we have got, independent enjoying tendency. At the same time, we also have tendency that we have a devotee personality. The devotee personality and demoniac personality. We have to be very, very careful. And it is by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by association of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said you can push out that ahankara of the demon. Demoniac identity, demoniac ahankara, demoniac sense of I will get pushed out by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, when we indulge in any sinful activities, we should understand that there is a demon inside us. It's not devotee who is engaging in sinful activity. Devotee wants to serve Krishna. Therefore, the devotee afterwards feels bad. Why this sinful act? Because the demon is there inside. So, demon takes over our body. So, therefore, one should get sufficient association of the holy name, of the devotees, of different kinds of transcendental literature, deities, prasadam, keep in association so that the demoniac tendency does not come and influence, and eventually the demoniac tendency in us will become weaker and weaker and weaker. And we will be able to differentiate between our true self and this demonic self. So you are not fighting between the desires. Oh, this desire I should satisfy or not satisfy. The fight is between whether I should allow the demon in me or I should allow the devotee in me to rule. At the identity level. Self-control is at the identity level. And of course, self-control at the highest level is I am the servant of Krishna level. Then it is, next level is at least take the divine nature of yourself, your material mind body system, divine nature you support as against the demoniac nature. Ideal thing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said is I am the servant of the servant of the servant. I am servant of Krishna. With that identity, one should make a choice. what is appropriate for that. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So in the translation here, Brahma is saying that I created by your order. So it may give a meaning, an implication of the statement. When he's saying I created by your order, is Brahma trying to get rid of the responsibility that I have not done any fault. It's your order. So I have done the creation. Sometimes we also may come across situations like responsibility is given to us and some mistakes we commit. And we say to the authority, I done because you are ordered me. So we may try to escape from the responsibility of taking that.
No, it's not from the next verse says that, my Lord, you are only capable of ending affliction from the distressed. He is praying to the Lord. And he doesn't know. He says, I followed what you said and I am being attacked. He's not blaming the Lord. He's not saying that I should not be attacked. I am attacked, now you protect me.
He's not blaming the Lord, but at the same time, it may also appear that he is trying to be away from the responsibility, take the responsibilities.
That is also okay. No, it's a fact. No,
percentage.
It's a fact. Under his order only he did. Isn't it? Under his order he did it.
The same situation may arise for us also in our...
Can arise also. The temple president may give you some order. And you follow that order, you may end up in a big mess. Somebody may attack you and all those things. So you can say, you only ordered, now you pray to the Lord and protect. There is no guarantee about all these things. What every action, consequences, reaction it will invoke from the society, from the people, you cannot, when we say not a blade of grass moves without his sanction, many devotees understand that everything the Lord is pushing upon everybody. Hey, that's the crazy way of understanding. No, there's free will everywhere. And he sanctions according to that free will. And this kind of, it's a very complex system. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the intricacies of action and reaction are very difficult to figure out. Who did action, what was the cause of that reaction, all those things. Yes.
The example of Yudhishthira Maharaj, even though he is sinless, but he undergone a lot of difficulty. One more place I heard Prabhupada saying, even Krishna's father and mother comes in this material world, they should suffer. That is the nature of this material world.
Yeah.
That is one more place Prabhupada says. Yudhishthira Maharaj also okay like a friend. But even Krishna's father and mother, they must suffer because the nature of material. So this particular sloka, more of we should understand that angle. And
yes. It is the nature of the material world. That has to be, that's very much to be, one should not think that at least when we hear so many characters in this literature of Bhagavatam, they suffer and all those things. One should not think it is exactly like how we suffer necessarily. The two ways, the nature of the material world, you will get suffering. That is why Prabhupada, how Prabhupada told that, Krishna wanted him to go down and preach in this material world. And that story, Prabhupada, no, it's a horrible place, I don't want to go, he said. The place is horrible. You may be pure, but the place is horrible.
let me take any number of birth. I want to serve you, Prabhupada. But Prabhupada just says, no, nothing doing. You chant nicely, go back to Godhead. So even he is not advising other devotees to take birth again. Janma is not advised.
Jai Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.